What's up, YouTube? I hope each and every one of you guys are healthy and achieving at least one of your goals today. Today we are reviewing the 2023 Jeep Grand Cherokee Summit. Huge thank you to Will Venhuizen over at Koons, Tysons, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram for allowing me to do this review for you guys today. If you guys are interested in this particular Grand Cherokee or any Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, or Ram product, I'll be sure to have Will's information on screen as well as in the description box down below. But with that said, let's get into the video. All right, guys, first things first, I want to apologize if there is any wind noise in this video. It is a little bit windy outside today. I do have a windsock on the camera, so I hope it is doing a good job with the wind noise. But let's talk about the exterior and performance. And like I said, this is a 2023 Jeep Grand Cherokee Summit, and this particular one has been painted in the $495 diamond black crystal pearl paint. Let's start over here at our headlights, then we'll work our way down and around to the back end of the Summit. So you do get bi-function LED premium reflector headlights with automatic high beams, as well as LED daytime running lights, LED turn signals, and LED fog lights located just below your headlights. Moving our way to the center, you can see you have your Jeep lettering at the center of the hood. You also get the classic 7-slot grille with satin chrome slot surround and satin chrome accents in those different slots. You can see them right there, as well as you also get a satin chrome trim piece that goes below your slots and your headlights, and then you get some more satin chrome trim below your fog lights. One thing I wanted to point out that comes standard when you guys get the Summit is that you do get a forward facing camera that goes along with your 360-degree view camera that again comes standard on the Summit. You also get 6 forward facing sensors when you guys get the Summit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And taking a step back, take a look at the front end. I think this thing looks absolutely phenomenal. I know that is subjective, but again, that's just my personal opinion. And then you get a black lower grille as well as black outer grills just below your fog lights. I think it all comes together to look, again, just very, very good. You also get side marker lights on both sides right here, which is just above your painted wheel arch molding. You get an independent front suspension, and then also you get a quadra lift air suspension as standard, and you get semi-active dampening as well. This is the air suspension in its lowest setting, and this thing looks pretty mean when it is low like this. But let's talk about that wheel and tire setup, because you do get 20-inch silver painted aluminum wheels that are wrapped in 265/50 Pirelli Scorpion Verde all-season tires. I'll give you guys a look at the tread pattern on those tires, as well as a look of your suspension. So that's your airbag, and then obviously you get independent front suspension. And then all Summits, doesn't matter if you get blue, white, whatever, you get black side view mirrors with integrated turn signals. The side view mirrors are heated, driver side auto dimming, power folding. You get memory, so when you guys set up your seat memory, it will also memorize your side view mirrors as well, which I think is very, very nice. And then you get blind spot monitoring on both side view mirrors. You get a camera and a puddle light at the bottom of the mirror. So that's your camera, goes along with your 360 camera, and then you have a puddle light as well. And then at the top of the roof line, you can see you get some silver and black roof rails, as well as you get some satin chrome window trim above all your side view windows, and then you get some black window trim at the bottom of your side view mirrors. You get body color door handles with a satin chrome trim piece. You can see body color and then satin chrome trim at the top of all 4 door handles. And then on both front passenger doors, you have Grand Cherokee lettering as well as an American flag. And the American flag on the other side is appropriately faced, which is nice, and I'm glad that Jeep paid attention to that. I mean, I would hope that they would, and I hope that they would know, and they do, which is nice. And then you also get some satin chrome body cladding at the bottom of all 4 passenger doors. To open up your filler neck, all you got to do is press on that. Fuel door opens up, then you get a capless filler neck. And one thing that's nice about the Grand Cherokees is that you get a little Easter egg right here, which is a Willys Jeep. I think that is pretty cool. But closing that back up, you get a body color shark fin antenna. You get an LED third brake light. Here is your rear view camera mirror rear view camera mirror camera with washer. I'll show you guys that on the interior, but you can see that is a little camera right there. Then you get your rear wiper blade, LED taillights, and then you get a black trim piece that connects your LED taillights. You get Jeep lettering at the center of that trim piece. Just below that Jeep lettering is where you will find your rear view camera with washer again. So that's the washer. I mean, you guys know what a camera looks like. 4x4 on the left hand side of the power liftgate, and Summit badging on the right-hand side of the power liftgate. That's what that looks like. But let's pop open the power liftgate. So I believe you have 2 pads on the power liftgate. So if I press this pad right here, that will lock the vehicle, so you can hear it lock. And then you can also open up the power liftgate by pressing your hand on the pad located right under your P on the Jeep lettering. So right there, about right there. Then the power liftgate opens up for a very good amount of storage space back here. I would say you could probably fit 5, 6, 7 carry-on suitcases back here, so a lot of storage space in the back of the Summit. And then you get a little storage cubby on this side. Opening this up reveals your full-size spare. You get a little bit of storage over here, and I believe no, that's not what I was thinking that it was, because on the last video I just did with a 4xe, you had a pretty cool bag right here that was high quality, but I guess on this one you do not. You get a 12-volt outlet back here as well on the driver's side of the trunk. And then this is a part of your Macintosh sound system. I'll show you guys that later on in the video. Not that, but the sound system. And then if you press this, that will drop the power liftgate. So you can see beeps 3 times, then the power liftgate begins to drop. You get 6 rear view sensors back here as well. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Then you get 2 reflectors, one on the driver's side, one on the passenger side, another satin chrome trim piece. And then I like the way that the rear valance looks. You get dual exhaust in that rear valance. It is body color. And then if you guys were wondering about the max tow capacity, the max tow capacity of this particular 2023 Grand Cherokee Summit is 6,200 pounds. But again, I want to do a rear 3/4 angle of the suspension in its lowest setting because it looks really good. They call this entry exit mode, makes it easier to get in and out of it. So if you have a grandma who struggles to get in and out of higher vehicles, you got to get the Summit because it's got the air suspension. Let me know what you guys think of the 2023 Jeep Grand Cherokee Summit in the comment section down below. But now let's move into performance. Popping open that hood reveals that 3.6 liter V6 that makes 293 horsepower and 260 pound-feet of torque. It is mated to an 8-speed automatic transmission for a 0 to 60 time in 7.4 seconds. I love the engine heat. It feels so good because it's pretty cold outside. But if you guys were wondering about fuel economy, you can achieve 19 miles per gallon in the city, 26 miles per gallon on the highway, for 22 miles per gallon combined when optioned with 4-wheel drive. But if you guys are enjoying the video so far today, please give this video a big thumbs up. Please hit that subscribe button. I'm really trying to hit 10,000 subscribers, and I cannot do that without your guys' help. So if you guys would take a second, give the video a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button. But let's move into the interior because it's really cold out. All right, guys, moving into the interior, I wanted to show you guys the key fob first because it's a very nice and upscale looking key fob. You get some chrome on it and it looks fantastic. This side says Jeep, and then you got all your controls on this side of it. So you got unlock, lock. If I press the lock button and then press this button twice, the vehicle will fire up. Give it a second. I guess it's not going to at the moment. Let's try it. I don't know why it's not going to do it. Anyway, it's not doing it right now. But if I press this button twice, that will open and or close your power liftgate. I'm not quite sure why it's not remote starting, but you also do get keyless access. Just make sure you have your key fob in your pocket. Walk up to the vehicle, put your hand behind the door handle, and the vehicle will unlock. You can also lock the vehicle by running your finger across these 3 hash marks right here, and you can tell the vehicle locks because it gives you that 1 beep. But let's get into the interior because it's cold and windy outside. It really cooled down once the sun went away. But at the top of the door panel, it looks absolutely phenomenal. You get some black leather, you get some wood trim, 2 memory seat adjustment settings. This is to turn on your massaging seat. This is your aluminum door handle. You got power folding side view mirrors plus your power mirror controls. Automatic up and down windows at all 4 corners. Pressing on this button will restrict your passenger window privileges. Obviously, you got your unlock and lock buttons. But look at that beautiful quilted leather with that brown accent colored stitching. It looks absolutely phenomenal, and it matches your seats very, very nicely. But I'll show you guys that in a second. You get a nicely padded armrest that is leather wrapped with some more brown accent colored stitching. Here is your Macintosh speaker surround. It looks really sweet, and when I turn the vehicle on, actually I might do that right now, the Macintosh part of it lights up. So take a look at that. That is pretty dang sweet. And then you get some miscellaneous storage space, actually a decent amount of storage space at the bottom of the door panel, as well as a spot you can set a water bottle. That beep is starting to annoy me. But then you get a brushed aluminum door sill, and you got your Summit right here that is backlit. It looks absolutely phenomenal. I'm gonna turn this back off because that's really starting to annoy me. You get a 12-way power driver seat as well as a 12-way front passenger seat. Those are all your controls for this seat. You also get a thigh extension, I believe. If you press on this button, you can see the thigh extension starts to extend, but you can see some quilted leather, some really good bolstering, perforated leather down the center of the seat. And one thing that I like about the headrests is that they come forward, they go back, so you can adjust it exactly how you want it to be. I really like that feature. And then you get Summit embossed into the seat back of both your driver and front passenger seat. But let's step in again to the interior and let's fire it up. All you got to do is make sure you have your key fob in the interior, push your foot down on the brake and push to start. I would hope that you guys would know how to do that if you guys bought this, but I'll make sure I got to turn the radio down and let's start over here. So here are your headlight controls. All the way left is headlights off, daytime running lights on, that's headlights always on, and then that's headlights automatic. This knob, or I guess scroll knob, is to adjust the brightness and or dimness of your backlit gauges as well as your backlit buttons. I believe, and I'm not 100% sure, so don't hold me to this, but I believe this is the ambient lighting adjuster. I'm not 100% sure. Correct me in the comments down below. This is your electronic parking brake on or off. Pull it back, that engages the parking brake. Put your foot down on the brake and push it in, and that will disengage the parking brake. You have a power tilting and telescoping steering wheel with the Summit, and then that is a look at the steering wheel. It looks absolutely sweet. Get some accent colored stitching. This is leather wrapped where your airbag pops out. God forbid you get in an accident. Downshift paddle, you get an upshift paddle. Leather wrapped again, you get some brown accent colored stitching on the inside of the steering wheel. And these controls over here, like the arrows and the OK button and this button right here, are to control your 10.3-inch digital gauge cluster. I'll show you guys that in a second. This is to speak to the vehicle and or pick up on a phone call. This is to hang up on a phone call. And then the right-hand side controls are for your adaptive cruise control. Let's take a listen to the turn signal on the Summit. That's what your turn signal sounds like. And one thing I wanted to show you guys on this side of the steering wheel, you got these controls. So this is to tune your radio. So if you switch the XM radio presets, this is to go up on a channel, this is to go down on a channel. Again, this is your downshift paddle. And then on the right hand side of the steering wheel, you have these controls, and then this is there, that is to volume up, and then that is to volume down, and then this is your upshift paddle. Let's take a listen to the horn on the Summit. That's what the horn sounds like on the Summit. You can't really hear it from the inside because of all the insulation. This thing is very well insulated from the outside world. This is your windshield wiper control stock for the front and the rear glass. Again, push button start. You can see all that beautiful wood trim that goes all the way across the dash. Fully leather wrapped dash up top here with some accent colored stitching. You can see your Macintosh tweeters, 1 and 2 over there. This got the heads up display. I'm not sure if the GoPro is gonna pick it up, but it's about right there. You can see the speed. Obviously we're going 0 miles per hour. You get some wood trim on your steering wheel. It looks absolutely phenomenal. But let's go throughout our gauge cluster. Again, these buttons control the gauge cluster, but I wanna show you guys something first, and that is this button right here. Click on this button, you get these different boxes on here. So if I wanted to go in here, I can pretty much set what I want to on each one of these different boxes for quick access into whatever that may be. So if you guys want to adjust what's on this screen, you gotta press and hold OK. And now you can adjust how many boxes you have. So right now this is 5. You can make it 4, 3, 2, or 1. Let's leave it on 5 because why not have the most that you possibly can. Okay, that's amount, and then you can adjust. So right now this is navigation, vehicle info, driver info, audio, off-road. You can adjust whichever one you want. So we'll adjust the one all the way to the left. So I can go in between navigation stuff, off-road stuff, audio stuff, driver information stuff, vehicle information stuff, and back to navigation. This is vehicle info, driver info, audio, off-road, navigation, vehicle info. So you can pretty much put whichever one you want to on each individual one of these things. Easier access into those screens, no, maybe it's not easier access, but different access into those screens would be to just hit the up or the down arrow. So if I click the down arrow, so right now I'm on the speedometer, let's click over to the right. This is night vision, so it'll pop up like a infrared screen. So that's night vision right there. So you can see it's infrared. We'll go down one more, and then you can go in between these different. So this is your second, this is your vehicle info screen. You got your fuel economy stuff, gauge summary, you can see your temperatures and your oil pressure and your battery voltage, oil life, tire pressure, stop start stuff. Go back over to here. We'll go down into our third. This is trip A. This is trip B. Those are your two different screens on that one. This is 4. This is navigation. Your navigation screen will pop up there. I'm not going to make it pop up because it's going to take too long. This is your terrain status stuff. Go over to here. This is vehicle dynamics, and then this is pitch and roll. Go down one more. This is like what's playing on my audio. And then here are your messages. You can go into your different settings, and this is like your heads-up display settings. So if I press OK, then I can adjust what's on the heads-up display. I can adjust the brightness of the heads-up display, the display height, the content, and the layout of it, and I can turn it on and off. And really, that's about it for this. That's night vision. Again, I like to leave it on my digital speedometer readout, like this screen personally, just personal preference. RPM gauge, speedometer, digital speedometer readout. P, that's the snow that we are in park. Over here, you got your fuel stuff. Unfortunately, we have almost an empty tank. You can see we're in empty exit or entry exit mode. So the suspension is at its lowest setting. So if that orange little thing was all the way at the top, that would be in its highest setting. That's the odometer. That's the coolant temperature. And yeah, that's about it for that screen. And right here, again, push button start. You get 4 HVAC vents on the dash. 1, 2, 3, and 4. This is your 10.1-inch infotainment screen with wireless Apple CarPlay and wireless Android Auto connectivity. You know, I was not really paying attention, and I was on my computer in here, and then I looked up and I was like, okay, this is kind of reminiscent of what you see on like the Range Rovers. This is kind of remind me of like a Range Rover interior, especially with this digital gauge cluster. Anyway, up top here, this is to turn auto stop start on or off. This is to turn your lane keep assist on or off, or as Jeep calls it, active lane management. This is to turn traction control on or off. This is to turn your hazards on or off. So let's take a listen to the hazards. That's what your hazards sound like. Then this is to turn your front and rear parking sensors on or off. This is your park assist on or off, so it'll help you parallel park, perpendicular park, or parallel park exit. So you can see that's pretty cool. You get 2 different Willys Jeeps. I think that is pretty cool that they integrated that into the screen. Active park sense canceled because I pressed the button, and then pressing this button will turn on or off the other 10.1-inch screen for the passenger. I'll show you guys that later on in the video, but let's go back into our infotainment screen. Here is your driver temperature. That is your passenger temperature, or what they are set to at the moment. That's the ambient exterior temperature. This is a 4G LTE capable vehicle. Here are like your different notifications. Right now we have no notifications, and that's what song is playing at the current moment. That's the navigation stuff. That is the current song. Again, you can go into your media stuff. That's the media stuff. You got AM, FM, XM, Bluetooth audio, and or the USB or auxiliary jack as well. And then you can go bring your climate screen up top here as well, so you can see, take a look at that. You can turn your heated seats, ventilated seats, and heated steering wheel on from here. Adjust the temperature, adjust the fan speed, adjust whatever, the direction of the air. This is your navigation screen. That's what the navigation screen looks like. Then you can go into your phone. My phone is connected. You can have, I guess, 2 active phones. And then go into vehicle. You can turn your mirror dimmer on or off. You can turn the passenger screen on or off by this button. You can turn, again, the passenger screen on. Click on this. Now I believe I have access to the screen, so let's see. Yeah, so now I have access to the screen, and that's about it for that. You got the bring up your 360-degree view camera by pressing on that. I have the license plate blocking the rear view camera at the moment, but you get a 360 camera. This is your backup camera. This is your forward-facing camera. This is your forward-facing camera and your 360-degree view camera. And then this is your backup camera as well. That's about it for the camera stuff. You can pop up your forward-facing camera at once with guidance lines. I can clean the camera, so if I press that, you can see the camera is being washed by the front camera washer. And if you hold it, it washes it for longer. That is pretty cool. And then you can also pop up your rear view camera, and yeah, that's about it. And then you can go in between your different apps, which is loading. You can see you got your Alexa. You can change the ambient color for the interior. Right now it's blue. I think I would like to keep it blue. Then you can go Android Auto, audio settings, auxiliary cable, Bluetooth, all these different things. Macintosh. Let's go into Macintosh, see if we can adjust the different sound settings. So, oh, that is pretty cool. Okay, so I think that is pretty sweet. We'll go back into here, and you can see you got tons of different things that you can do. Wi-Fi stuff, all these different things. You guys can pause your screen if you want to see the different things on here. But that's about it for that. This is your volume knob. That's your tuning knob. This is to mute the radio. So I'm going to turn the radio up. If I press that, that's just going to mute the audio instantly. This is my heated seat button with 3 levels of adjustability. This is my ventilated seat button with 3 levels of adjustability. This is my heated steering wheel button with 1 level of adjustability. And then the passenger gets heated and ventilated seats, both with 3 levels of adjustability. This is your screen off button. So if I click that, the screen will turn off. Touch anywhere on the screen, it comes back on again. This is your tuning knob. And then this is from like here and down. That is all your climate control stuff, front defroster, rear defroster, and all the other climate stuff. Get 2 USB-A ports, 2 USB-C ports, a auxiliary jack, an HDMI port for your screen over here. So let's talk about that screen, because that is an option. That is a $1,095 option, and that is called the Passenger Interactive Display, and that is also a 10.1-inch screen. And no, I cannot see it from here. It's not just the camera that's not able to see it. You actually have to be sitting in the passenger seat in order to be able to see that screen. But just to the right of your HDMI port, you have a 12-volt power outlet, and then this is your wireless charging pad. Let's see if my iPhone 14 Pro Max fits down in there. And boom, it fits down in there absolutely no problem. And then here are your different drive modes. You've got auto, sport, snow, sand / mud, and rock. And then you got a dial right here for your transmission. So twist it to the right, that goes into reverse. Twist one more time to the right, that puts you into neutral. Twist all the way to the right, that puts you into drive. And then all the way back to the left, puts you back into park. If you're driving down the road and you somehow think that this is your volume knob and you twist it all the way into park while you're in drive going 80 miles an hour, the car is dummy proof. It's not going to let you go into park, so that is a good thing. And then, like I said, this does have the Quadralift air suspension. So here is your air suspension control. You can see that we're all the way in our lowest setting. We'll go up 1. This is like the second lowest setting. You can kind of hear it filling up. Go all the way up. So I guess you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different settings. So now we're going all the way up. You can see, watch us go up. So we're still lifting. And we are all the way up. I wanted to show you guys that without me talking, because you can kind of hear it airbagging up. So now we have a lot more ground clearance. This is your hill descent control button. This is your true neutral button. This is to put you into 4-wheel drive low. And when you switch in between your different drive modes, you have like different screens. So that's sport, that's auto, that's snow, that's sand / mud. And if you put it into rock mode, you got to shift it into 4 low. So we're just going to keep it back in automatic. And then you get some beautiful ambient lighting down in here for your 2 cup holders. So you do get 2 cup holders, and then you can close that as well. So if you don't want to see it, you can close all of that. So then it just looks classy, and then that's all piano black. So you probably are going to get a few smudges on it, but just take some O&R and with a rag, microfiber rag, and you can wipe it down, and it'll all come right off, no problem. You get a beautiful center fold down armrest right here with some brown accent colored stitching. This is your upper part of your center fold down armrest, and then you also get a lower part of your center fold down armrest, which is down in here. And very good amount of storage space. I can pretty much fit 3/4 of my forearm down in there. And then you also get an LED light, so if you're looking down in there at night, you have a light to see what you are grabbing. This does have the rear view camera mirror, and the rear view camera mirror comes a part of the $2,380 Advanced ProTech Group 4, which includes the heads-up display, the night vision with pedestrian and animal detection, as well as the rear view camera mirror. I'll show you guys the night vision again. That is the night vision, that's the rear view camera mirror, and that is the heads-up display, which again all come a part of the Advanced ProTech Group 4. This also has the $420 Luxury Tech Group V, which I believe is 5. And you get the manual 2nd row window shades, which this one is up, I believe, at the moment. Oh, I guess it's not. But you can see You get these rear window shades, and that is a $420 option. This one also, like I showed you guys, has the Macintosh 19 speaker sound system with a 950 watt amp, and that is a $2,020 option. If you guys like sound systems and you guys are getting the Summit, absolutely get the Macintosh sound system. It is 100% worth it. If you guys like good sound and you like to listen to music in your car, definitely get that as an option. But again, I wanted to read this one more time to you guys. This has the $1,095 10.1 inch passenger interactive display, which I'll show you guys in a second. But I wanted to show you guys the massaging seats. So click on that button right there and up pops the massaging seats. So you can waterfall, you can lower back, you can low extend, rock climb, and all those different settings. So you got plenty of different massage seat settings, and the front passenger gets the same thing as well. Popping this open, get a great spot. You can set sunglasses. Then you got all your panoramic roof controls. Panoramic sunroof comes standard on the Summit. So this is to open up the shade, and then this is to tilt this panoramic moonroof up like that. And then this is to open up the panoramic sunroof itself all the way backwards. Here are your SOS and assist buttons, so roadside assistance, and God forbid you get in an accident, you can click on that button. And then these are your interior light buttons. So if I click on that, all the interior dome lights will turn on when I open up the door with this lit up. Now when I open up the door, the interior lights will not turn on. If I click on that, and then that light goes away. Now when I open up the door, all the interior lights will turn on. And then pressing on this will open and or close my power lift gate. And then I got a driver individual light and a front passenger individual light. Universal garage door opener. If your house has 3 different garage bays, you can open up all those 3 different garage bays individually. Opening this up, get a vanity mirror with 2 vanity lights. One thing I wanted to point out is look how fancy these vanity lights look. Here in person, I know the GoPro's not going to pick it up, but these look very premium. I know it's like a weird thing to say that they look premium, but they just look like really upscale, and I'm talking about the 2 lights. So very, very nice Jeep. Good job. And then opening this up, let's see if it slides. It slides. That gives a plus in my book. And then one last thing is that you get a clip right here for a parking ticket or money or registration, something like that, a small paper product. And the passengers is the same. It's a Bluetooth mic pickup for your Bluetooth phone. Driver side gets that as well, 1 and 2. You get an O-Poop handle. Passenger gets an O-Poop handle as well. And I do want to read over a couple features on the window sticker, and that is that this does have the QuadraTrack 2 4-wheel drive system. You get a limited slip rear differential. You get traffic sign recognition, hands-free power liftgate, adaptive cruise control with stop and go, active lane management, full speed forward collision warning plus. You get the 360-degree view camera. You get the parallel and perpendicular park assist with stop. You get blind spot and cross path detection, side distance warning, intersection collision assist system, pedestrian/cyclist emergency braking, active driving assist system, drowsy driver detection. That's pretty cool. Auto dimming rear view mirror. This one has the rear view camera mirror, so that avoid that or ignore what I just said. Quadra-lift air suspension works absolutely phenomenally. And you get hill start assist. You get the trailer tow package. This says semi-active dampening and a rear seat object alert. You get the Wi-Fi hotspot. You get Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, wireless charging pad. You get the heated steering wheel, heated front seats, ventilated front seats. You get the 2 front seats, both with massaging functions, which they both work fantastic. And then this does have multicolor ambient interior lighting, as well as 4-zone climate control. Let's talk about the MSRP. So the MSRP of the way that this particular 2023 Grand Cherokee Summit is spec'd is $71,915. However, this particular one is for sale at Koons, Tysons, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram for $67,000. Make sure you guys ask for Will. But I do want to show you guys the rear seats as well as this screen on the passenger side. So I'm going to show you guys the passenger side screen first before we go on the drive. Man, that is actually a big difference. Look at the suspension. Look how high up it is. When I stepped out of it, I was like, dang, that's a big drop. But you can see, look how much higher it is now than it was when it was in its lowest setting. So that is a huge difference. That's a lot of suspension travel. That is really awesome. So I want to show you guys this interactive screen though. So you can see your audio stuff, you can see your video stuff, you can go into your HDMI, so whatever you put in your HDMI port will pop up here on this screen. You can go down one. This is all your notification stuff, so there are no notifications at the moment. And then you can control what the brightness is of the screen. You can turn this screen off, and then you can adjust the volume of your headphones that are connected to this screen. You can bring up the audio, which will go throughout this entire screen. So if I click on this, I believe, yeah, see, now I can pretty much control the same stuff that you see on that screen on this screen for your audio control. So I think that is pretty cool. But now let's move into those rear seats. Man, this Summit is very, very nice, guys. Very nice. Very, especially for the price, $71K. This thing is actually surprisingly nice. Actually nicer than I expected. Here is your $420 rear window shade. I guess this one is your $210 window shade, and then that one's another $210 for $420 total. Get some beautiful leather wrapping, get some wood trim, aluminum door handle, looks pretty much the same as the front, more diamond stitching, nicely padded armrest that is leather wrapped. You got your unlock and lock functions for all your doors here in the second row, automatic up and down rear windows, miscellaneous storage space at the bottom of the door panel, and then you get that beautiful Macintosh speaker surround where Macintosh is lit up. I think that is so cool. And then here are your second row seats. That's what they look like. Still look absolutely fantastic, just like your front seats. You can recline these seats, so I'm going to recline them. So now you can see they're reclined. Step into the interior. I actually put my seat in the front, reclined further back and pushed further back than I would normally have it because I was prepping for this video. But you can see I've got a good amount of legroom still, good amount of knee room, and still I have a good amount of headroom. I probably have, you know, 5 inches left of headroom. But yeah, very comfortable back here in these seats. These seats themselves are very comfortable. You get a center fold down armrest with 2 cup holders, and then this is also nicely padded with some brown accent colored stitching. It looks so sweet. This is a 4-zone climate control vehicle, so I can have my own temperature, he can have his own temperature, or she can have their own temperature, they can have their own temperature, whatever the heck you are. You get heated outboard second row seats, both with 3 levels of adjustability. This is your climate control screen, so you can see that's that. I'm going to keep it off. 2 HVAC vents, and then down here you get 2 USB-C ports and 2 USB-A ports, as well as a 150 watt household power outlet located right there. I know the GoPro's not going to pick it up all that well, but you get a household outlet right here that is 150 watts, and what you'd find in like the Tahoes or the Suburbans or the GMCs, blah blah blah, those are 120 watt household power outlets. So this thing's got 30 watts more power than those. But very, very nice interior here on the Grand Cherokee Summit. Jeep has definitely stepped their game up from the previous generation Grand Cherokee to this one. This one honestly shocked me at how nice it was, how nice it rides, how nice it is when it comes to the interior sound on the highway. Very, very nice. But you know, we've talked about the exterior, we've talked about the performance, and now we've talked about what's going on here in the interior. I want to see what this thing's like to drive, as I'm assuming you guys do as well. So I'll see you guys in the driver's seat. All right, guys, and now on to the driving portion of the review. And the first thing I wanted to say is that really, and I'm not like just saying this, and I don't want you guys to think that I'm full of blank, but really it feels like I'm driving in a Range Rover. Like, this gauge cluster really reminds me of a Range Rover Sport, and so does this. Like, all of this, like, I don't know if it's the colors or the way that it looks or the leather wrap dash, but it does like legitimately remind me of a Range Rover Sport. And then part 2, second thing I wanted to talk about, is that I just got out like a couple hours ago. I got out of the Jeep Grand Cherokee 4xe, and I'm going to tell you one thing. That thing was $61,000 and some change. This is $71,000 and some change. I would pick this thing 10 times out of 10 over the 4xe. Reason being is, not only is that this drivetrain a lot more reliable. I don't know like how the 4xe reliability wise is, but I didn't like the way that the 4xe just, it felt strange to me, the way that it would engage the electronic or the electric motors and the way that it would engage the gas powered motor. I personally, if you guys want reliability long term, you guys want to get the 3.6 liter, because it's proven. They've had the 3.6 liter literally forever. It's got great amount of power, and really it gets similar gas mileage to the 4xe. But back to the Summit, this thing is such a nice riding interior. Literally such a nice riding interior, or such a nice riding car, excuse me. The interior is, this is what I meant. I combined two things at once. The interior is really, really nice. I mean, literally, it's so nice. That's a GLS 63. That's a nice car right there. That's a big money car right there too. But the way that this interior feels, I feel like this thing punches above its class, because I mean, just, it's such a nice and upscale feeling interior. I'm probably gonna have to wait here until the light changes, but just a nice upscale feeling interior. All the touch points are really nice. You get the wood, you get the leather wrapping, and we'll do a little acceleration right here. Let's see how she does. It accelerates really well. Like, I didn't have to really put my foot that far into the accelerator, and it got up and going. So we're gonna go over some bumps here, and with that air ride suspension, man, it rides so smoothly. It's so quiet here on the interior. I mean, just take a listen to it. There's a car right next to us, and normally you'll hear shh when a car goes by. I mean, it's just, it's so quiet in here, and this is such a like step up from the previous generation Grand Cherokee. Like, if I got in the generation before this Grand Cherokee and I stepped into this, I would think that they're two totally different vehicles, because the interior on this is just so much nicer. And I mean, obviously it should be, it is the successor to that one, but just a really, I think Jeep really outdid themselves between the sound system, between all the touch points here on the interior, the ride of it. I mean, it's just such, overall, it's such a great vehicle. I love the rear view camera mirror. I love the wireless Apple CarPlay. I love the wireless charging pad. I love all the touch points again. The power is great. I feel like this thing's got more than enough get up and go. Just a really great vehicle overall, between the technology, between the, you know, interior touch points, between the ride. Again, I mean, I know I said that twice, but really, it's just such an, like, literally as I'm talking to you guys while we're on this drive, I'm getting a back massage. Like, come on, I'm in a Jeep Grand Cherokee, and my back is getting massaged. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that, especially for, you know, $71,000 and some change. There's not really that many other vehicles. I mean, there are other vehicles, but from what I've seen, other vehicles at $71,000, I'd say that this thing is really, really nice. And I know a lot of people give Stellantis a lot of, you know, flack for their build quality and their finishes and stuff like that, but the build quality on this thing looks to be really damn nice. And I inspected it, and all the body panels line up, all the paint matches between the different fenders and stuff like that. So I'd say that this thing is a really nice vehicle. I'm going to do a little acceleration merging onto the highway here, just like you'd be, you know, merging onto the highway, but I'm going to floor it, and we'll do that in 3, 2, 1. Good merging power, man. Really good merging power. And that is a downhill slope, so, you know, this isn't the fastest thing in the world, but it's got more than enough get up and go for those of you guys who are looking at getting one of these as a daily driver. But I'm gonna go about 60 and I'll be quiet. You guys can listen to the how quiet it is in here. And it's also a windy day. I mean, very good noise cancellation from the outside, man. Really good. And it rides really smooth. Like, we're just floating down the highway. I mean, obviously I can feel some of the imperfections in the road, but this suspension is really good. We'll do a little see how she does around this turn up here at about, you know, 40 miles an hour. But maybe I'll hit the downshift, 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 downshift. Go around this turn at about this speed. Let's see how she does. Wow, handles surprisingly well. I'm gonna put it back into drive. I'm gonna exit out of the paddle shifter mode. I was surprised at actually how well it handled. Like, that felt like very minimal body roll. There is a little bit, but really it's very limited. And we'll do a U-turn here. Do a little mild acceleration, nothing crazy. Up this hill, like a normal acceleration, but just a tad bit more. And let's see how she does, just up to the speed limit. and it accelerates up to the speed limit, no problem. I like how you get the speed limit sign right there, and if you go over the speed limit, it turns red. Right now we're going under. Now I'm going to show you guys what it looks like when we go over. See how it turns red? I think that's pretty cool. It lets you know that, hey man, you're going a little bit above the speed limit. You might want to tone it down, and then once you get back to the speed limit and below, the red surround around the speed limit sign goes away. So we'll do a little suspension test here, see how she does. Wow, very flat around that turn. So that handled really well, and I still think that GM is the master of suspensions when it comes to like the Tahoes and stuff going around turns. They remain so flat, and I'd say that this thing is about right on par with those vehicles. I mean, the Tahoe is a bigger vehicle than this, but yeah, it handled that turn really well body roll wise. Very minimal body roll. I really like the way that this thing drives in slow speeds, at high speeds. It's just an overall really good driving vehicle between the low speeds, between the high speeds. It's got adaptive cruise control, blind spot monitoring. I mean, guys, this thing has almost everything, and I believe they have like a trim level above this called the Summit Reserve, so I can't imagine how this thing can get even nicer. But yeah, great sound system. I'm gonna give you guys a second to kind of listen to what the sound system sounds like, and I'll play a song with a little bit of bass. So here we go. Copyright free. Listen.
Seem like every captain gotta maintain the cap. You can make change, don't change for that.
Got a bass drop coming up here in a second.
Bet you never fall off. You was made
here it is.
For that. You gotta be.
Listen to that. Very good sound system. I told you guys, it bumps, it remains clear. It's not quite as good as the Bowers & Wilkins sound system that I tested yesterday in the Volvo XC60, but that's also like a $3,500 sound system. That's probably the best sound system that I've ever heard in a vehicle, but this sound system in this is still really, really good. I highly recommend you guys get this sound system. If you guys are getting the Grand Cherokee Summit and you like a good sound system, definitely get the Macintosh sound system. But you know, to summarize this vehicle, I think it's phenomenal. The touch points on the inside are fantastic. Just the interior feels really upscale, and honestly, if you were not a car person and you were put in this seat and you just got out of like a Range Rover Sport, you'd be like, this looks very similar to the Range Rover Sport. Am I in a Range Rover Velar? So that's kind of how I would summarize the interior. But that's it for today's video. If you guys did enjoy the video, please be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Please hit that subscribe button. I'm really trying to hit 10,000 subscribers, and I cannot do that without your guys' help. So if you guys would take a second out of your day, give the video a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button. But again, that's it for today's video. I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.